Saturdays? No way, mate. Absolutely no chance. Midweek? Ooh, it's going to be a bit ropey as well. Tuesdays, Wednesdays don't look very promising for me. In fact, to be honest with you, Fridays and Sundays look a bit ropey as well, I'm afraid. In fact, to be honest with you, for the next 10 months, I think you're pretty much going to be on your own. Why? Because this Saturday, it's Blackburn Rovers' opening game of the Championship season, folks, and we're going all the flipping way. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview, folks. It's been a few months, hasn't it, since we've done one of these, but we're back for the brand new season up against Charlton. We're going to open up that campaign this Saturday. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button, keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, woo, football related. We're going to all hear under Warowski's. Okay, folks, so first match preview of the season. Now, what we're going to do this year is a little bit different, folks. Obviously, last season condensed quite a lot of information into one video, and including opposition fan input, all that kind of good stuff. But we're mixing it up a little bit this year. We've actually got quite a few videos building up to the Charlton game. So in this one, it's kind of just the sort of the numbers, the analytics, the form book, all that kind of good stuff, and my predicted, and basically just my opinion of what's going to happen. Tomorrow, we're going to get in a fan opinion from Charlton. Tomorrow being Wednesday, and then on Thursday we'll get a Blackburn Rovers, another Blackburn Rovers fan's opinion. Obviously, you got my opinion. That doesn't usually carry much weight, but I'm going to get a hardcore Blackburn Rovers, an additional hardcore Blackburn Rovers. Not saying that I'm not hardcore, I'm flipping hardcore, boys and girls, but I'll get another hardcore Blackburn Rovers fan opinion on Thursday. And then on Friday, she'll be back. She's not here today, but Cass the Cat will make her prediction for the Blackburn Rovers game up against Charlton, folks. So let's get cracking, shall we? Obviously, first game of the brand new season, and we're not very good with these. We seem to be very hit and miss with, no, not hit and miss, a lot of misses. We haven't won an opening game for about 10 years. But this, I think, is a good chance for Rovers to break that hoodoo as we bring on Charlton Athletic to Ewood Park. That's right. Obviously, hotly promoted from League One. Obviously, went through the sneaky back door of the playoffs, ousting one of the top favourites, Sunderland, along the way. Now, Charlton are managed still, believe it or not, by Lee Bowyer. Bit of jiggery-pokery with him over the summer. He left, came back again, but now he seems to be here. And he's been doing bits on the transfer market. We'll talk more about that in just a second. So the game does take place at Ewood Park, right here at Ewood Park. 3rd of August 2019. Their danger man for me will be goal machine Lyle Taylor. He scored a bucket load of goals for Charlton last time out. Can he make that step up to League One, to the Championship? I'm pretty sure he'll get a good at least 10 goals. You never know. It's just a little bit going to be a little bit interesting to see how they adapt to be back in the Championship. Now the record up against Charlton. Now a lot of this information, if you're a regular viewer on the channel, you'll have seen this. Majority of this information on a team preview for Charlton. This initial bit is pretty much the same. So they've played each other. Charlton and Rovers have played each other 76 times, with Rovers winning 36 of them, Charlton 26, and there's been 17 draws between the two sides. Now, the last matches, I'm going to go over this in a bit more detail in a second, but the last matches look like this. Obviously, the last time that these two sides duked it out at Ewood Park, Rovers come out on top 2-0, but the last time that these two sides played at the Valley, it was a 1-0 win for Charlton. Now, this season, obviously, this weekend, 3rd of August, is the game at Ewood Park, and then we'll do it all again in the 15th of February 2020 when we go down to the Valley. Okay, so let's take a look at the transfer activity for Blackburn Rovers. Now, this is the main hardcore transfers. A lot of players have been released as well. These are mainly looking at players coming in on a permanent or a loan or whatever. And we've got Stuart Downey coming in from Middlesbrough for a free transfer. Also, Sam Gallagher, big money move, around about 5 million, give or take about add-ons. One of the better signings for me was Bradley Johnson. We needed a big boss man midfield, and I think this could be the key and driving us forward a little bit. Christian Walton's been brought in on loan. That's a little bit of a dubious one for me. I think he's a good goalkeeper, great future, but we've got him on loan, which is not ideal. And we've also brought in young Tom White from Gateshead, who'll probably go into under 23, so we won't see much of him this season. Players going out. Obviously, we lost Craig Conway as well over the pre-season, but Paul Downey's gone to Portsmouth, and David Raya, big time loss there, has gone to Brentford. As for Charlton, Ben Amos has been brought in, Chuck Sanike as well, big time striker for MK Dons last season. Macaulay Bonne, I think this guy's a hot prospect. I think he do very well. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. But Tom Lockyer, much sought after defender to fill the gap maybe left by Patrick Bauer, who's gone off to North End. And Adijay Shalala has been brought in. pronunciation. I'm sure I butchered that. He's also been brought in. Nicky Jose's gone to Exeter. Tariq Fonsu's gone to Oxford. And Jamie Maskell's gone to Wickham. The one transfer that's not listed up there is Joe Aribo, who's left Charlton Athletic to join Rangers. He is a very much sought after talent. A lot of Premier League clubs were sniffing around as well. And he could have done bits in the Championship. But unfortunately, he's gone up north to Glasgow. Anyway, let's take a look at the not the injuries. We're going to take a look at the form book coming into this a little bit over pre-season. Rovers having an unbeaten pre-season with wins over Barrow. We did have a cancellation against Rochdale. We did take on Mansfield, beat them, beat Bury, and we also beat Blackpool. But we also took on Rangers up at Glasgow. That's probably our most difficult game, and we drew 1-1. As for Charlton, a bit of a hokey pokey pre-season. Took on Gaz Matan 1-1-0. Also beat Welling, Dagenham, Redbridge, and Colchester, but defeats up against Ebbsfleet, Gillingham, and Aston Villa. Leave them in a bit of a hit and miss pre-season, but it's all about fitness, folks. It's all about fitness. Moving on to the future fixtures for Rovers. Blackburn obviously taking on Charlton this weekend. Then we take on Fulham a week Saturday up against on the 10th of August. But then we'll take on Oldham in the Carabao Cup at Ewood Park before we take on Middlesbrough at the 17th of August. And we'll wrap up the 5-game stretch up against Hull City on the 20th of August. As for our visitors, they'll take on Stoke on the week Saturday at the Valley. Then they'll take on Forest Green Rovers, then Vegans on the 30th of August at the Valley as well, before taking on Barnsley, obviously two League One, or formerly League One teams duking out right here, right now. Then they'll take on Nottingham Forest as well on Wednesday 21st of August, and that'll wrap up their 5-game stretch. Okay, folks, if you are, again, this is a little bit of admin, mid-video admin, if you are a Fulham fan by chance, I don't know why you'll be watching this, but if you are, if you know somebody who's a Fulham fan and want to get involved with the channel and get their voices heard, get in touch with me right here on in the old comment section down below, or follow me at Roverseas and DM me that way and say, hey, I'd like to get involved and become the Fulham supporter for you for this next match, which is just around the corner, folks. The match preparation, in my mind, is already on for this guy. And if you are watching this and you're a Blackburn Rovers fan and you want to get involved, also ping me again, DM me one way, chat section, Twitter, whatever it is. And you can be my Rovers fan for this game. Of course, tomorrow we're going to have a Charlton fan giving his verdict on this upcoming game. And in a couple of days' time, we'll have a Blackburn Rovers supporter also stepping into the front of the cameras and giving his verdict. So all those to look forward to. But if you are looking ahead and you want to get involved, buzz me and we can talk about this bad boy. Anyway, let's switch gears back to the Charlton game. Quickly, the injuries and suspensions. No suspensions for Rovers, but we've got a couple of injuries. Derek Williams, Sam Hart, both left backs by trade, are out. They're not going to be featured, I don't think, for this game, as will not Jacob Davenport. On the flip side, Charlton have no suspensions either, but the only concern is Lewis Page, who will be out as well. Picked up a niggle over on pre-season. So let's take a look at my expected starting 11. I don't expect too many changes of faces, to be honest with you. Obviously, new goalkeeper, Walton's come in. I think Bell will get the nod left back. Lenihan Mulgrew will come in at centre back. Same old, same old. Nyembe at right back. Big bad boy, big BJ, Bradley Johnson in the centre midfield alongside Lewis Travis. Now, this could be the partnership that pushes us to another level, folks. Obviously, we've improved our attacking lines. And I think the midfield, that partnership, I think Lewis Travis has done amazing this past 12 months to get himself where he is right now. Energy, vigour, bite. He knows how to throw in a tackle. Might be a little bit rusty and might rip your leg off. But he's got a good playing head. Bradley Johnson's been there, seen there, done it. He's going to come in and give us a bit more leadership in that middle of the park to kind of calm him down a pinch. The question marks still remain defence. I'll talk more about that in a second. But moving forward, we have obviously Bradley Dacarino in the middle of the park, Armstrong, Rothwell, and Big DG up top. He gets the nod for me. I know Brereton's been scoring some goals for fun, but I just think we kind of need a little bit of... Just kind of play it a little bit cautiously. Then we'll have an explosive bench with Brereton, with Gallagher. Maybe Chappers might be involved because he's been doing bits as well in the under 23s. Dominic Samuel's knocking the door. It's looking good. The depth of the squad is looking good, except for defence. Now we are still a few days away. I think 10 days before the close of the transfer window. And the gaffer Mowbray has said that he's trying to bring in 2 guys before this game against Charlton. But I don't. Even if they do come through on the line and whatever, and we make amazing signings, I don't think they'll be in this team to take on Charlton. So I think right here, kicking on forward from Monday, Tuesday, whatever, you need to have a settled idea of who's going to be starting the season to kind of get everything in place. Let's take a look at Charlton now, shall we? Now, I haven't got no inside information. This is just who I think could play against Rovers. Now, again, tomorrow I'll get a Charlton's point of view. He'll give me his verdict on his starting 11. Maybe we can compare him a little bit. But anyway, Amos between the sticks, Pierce, Lockyer, and Sarr, the back three. I'm going for a three-man back a defensive line with Purrington, Williams. Who else we got? Pratley and Duke Steele. On the right-hand side. Then we have Foster Kasky in the middle of the park, and Ike and Taylor up top. Now, those two could score goals. They've got goals in them. Can they make it at the Championship level? With this questionable defence, I'm sure you might have it, at least a goal in you. Quick look at the squeaky clean table. Now, obviously, coming into this, Charlton are in 7th. Rovers are in 3rd. That's just alphabetical, folks. It's just alphabetical. But would you take it? Would you take 7th place, Charlton? Just outside the playoffs? I'm sure you would. And Rovers fans, would you take 3rd, being in the playoffs? Could be the most unlucky spot in football, 3rd. And anyway, let's take a look at what else we got for you. The rest of the opening day fixtures. Obviously, Luton Town will open up the season up against Middlesbrough in front of the Sky cameras. That will be day 1, match 1. And then it's all over. It all kicks off on Saturday with some quite tasty games. Stoke up against High Sport or the questionable QPR. That's what I call them. Because they've been bringing in a host of players quite recently. New management, new era, new ethos. Are they going to gel, or is it going to be a bit of a mess? We'll have to wait and see. Forest taking on West Brom, one of the games of the day, and then then it kicks on further on Sunday. Bristol City up against Leeds. Now Bristol City and Leeds are my tips for the top-ish. If you haven't checked out my Championship prediction, make sure you do so. It's on the channel right about now, so you can check that bad boy out. And it wraps up on Monday. Huddersfield up against Derby, and I've also done my own match day predictions for this sucker right here, right now. So I'm not just to clarify, if you're watching this one, I did select Blackburn Rovers to win 2-0 against Charlton. But if you want to check out the rest of it, head over to the channel, have a scroll around, and you'll find it. Match day 1 predictions, and into the future, I'm going to be doing those predictions live on the channel in the month of September. Once this first opening month goes out the way, we got a holiday right around the corner, and I don't want to start something and that will then stop a couple of weeks later, if you know what I mean. So yeah, interesting few games to take a look at match day 1. It is always good to get off to a fantastic start. Now let's take a look at the form book coming into this now. Now, because of this, obviously once the season gets into a few games, it'll be a lot quicker to go through the form book, but I've got to cover 2 divisions here because it's opening day. So Rovers head into this, the last 6 games in the Championship, in 3rd spot in the form book, winning 4 of the last 6 games, but picking up a draw and a loss last 2. As for the home form, they come to this in 12th spot with 3 wins, 2 defeats and a draw in amongst their last possible 18 points. The away form for Rovers is also pretty much mid-table, 10th spot, 2 wins, 4 defeats at the last 6 away games. As for Charlton, our visitors, they come into this tip of the top, 15 points of a possible 18 of the last 6 games in League 1. Remember, that is League 1. As for their home form coming into this, they are an incredible home form, again, out of League 1. The past 6 home games, they've won all 6 of them, picking up 18 points on the bounce. As for their away form, though, it's a little bit different, just a little bit. Into 2nd spot, 11 points out of a possible 18. Just the 1 defeat out of the past 6. So, great form for Charlton, but it is a step up. So can they make that transition? We'll have to wait and see. Now, quick look at the last 6 matches between the 2 sides in all competitions and in all grounds. We've got an FA Cup game in here. We've got a couple of Championship games, a couple of League 1 games as well. Obviously, we duked it out. What does it say? Let's say League 1. Hang on a minute. That seems a bit fishy. We were not in League 1 with Leon. Oh, we were. Oh my, yes. That Leon Best goal threw me off a second. But anyway, so the last 6 games in all grounds and all competitions, it is in favour of Rovers. 4 wins for us, 1 win for Charlton, 1 draw at the past 6. Obviously, the last time that we faced each other was at their place in League 1, and it was Jason Pearce with the only goal. The same season, Leon Best did score a goal for Rovers, but he actually was playing for Charlton, so yeah, that's a bit of a sweet justice. I think DG got a goal in the 90th minute. Jordan Rose did like to score a few goals against Charlton, bagging 5 in 3 games. And then this one at the bottom here, FA Cup game. I was there, I was at the Valley, and I watched this one. We flew back from the US of A to catch this bad boy, amongst other things. Now, the last 6 games at Ewood Park between the 2 sides look a little like this. We've won 4 of them, Charlton have won 2 of them. There are no draws in the past 6 games. So does that give us some food for thought? Maybe, just maybe. Now, the last 3 results have gone in favour of Blackburn Rovers, and we've not conceded a goal. Can we make it 4 out of 4? That would be amazing. If we could make 4 wins on the 4 with a clean sheet, with Christian One between the sticks and our sloppy defence, I'll take that to the bank. But Charlton did win back-to-back games in 2013. So, yeah, they've got it in them. They've got it in them. And again, Jordan Rose did score in there as well. And that bottom one there was back in the glory years, folks. Back in the Prem de la Prem. So, yes, that is pretty much all the numbers crunched for you. But what do you think will happen this opening day between Charlton and Blackburn Rovers? Give me your thoughts and opinions in your comment section down below. As for me, I did make my own prediction. I just think, you know, I think I mentioned it, but 10 years since Blackburn Rovers won an opening day. This is a great opportunity for us to change that mentality, break that hoodoo, and get a victory under our belt. Will it happen? I hope so. I hope the stars align, and then we get our first victory of the season straight. Because the first few, this game is very winnable. But it's also very losable. I think Charlton will come into this with a bit of a spring in their step. But after this game, it gets a little bit ropey for Rovers. We take on Middlesbrough, we take on Fulham. It's not an ideal start. So if we can get a win, maybe pick up a point against Middlesbrough, then we'd start the season okay. 4 points from a possible 6 would be great. But let's get this first one out of the way first. As for the starting lineup is going to be interesting to see. Again, hopefully a couple more additions. Defense. That is the one area that concerns me. It's always concerned me. It's concerned me for years, and it doesn't seem to ever get better. And it seems to actually have got a little bit worse. Get rid of David Raya for $3 million, bringing in a low knee, not strengthening centre backs. There are some rumours right now of us trying to bring in a big lanky German, and that would be good. I do keep an eye on the Bundesliga, and I know Dusseldorf did very well for their size of club. So it would be good if we could just strengthen. If we could bring in a centre back on a permanent basis that belongs to Rovers, that we can keep, then I'll feel a little bit better about it. Because an injury to Lenihan, and we are playing with flipping paper thin defence. Mulgrew ain't getting any younger. Yes, he's a dead ball specialist, but ultimately it's a little bit iffy. I'd like to be honest with you, I was gonna do a different kind of formation for us, on my point of view, playing 3 centre backs for Rovers. If we'd bought one in, and one of them would have been Mulgrew, he could have kind of played in a sort of a floating role, a sort of kind of like a defensive midfielder, like a halfback. I think it's a halfback. I think that's what they call it. He plays kind of as centre back, but also plays in midfield as well. Kind of drifts in between, offers support for midfield, but also comes in back, kind of like a sweeper, but not a sweeper. Because we've had the dead ball specialist. He would have played more of a midfield sort of role, But trying to piece all the pieces together was a little bit difficult. So I've just opted for a 4-man defence with Mulgrew for the opening game. We'll see how it goes on, and hopefully we can get ourselves a victory and possibly a clean sheet. Because that'll build confidence, folks. And again, we need competition for centre-backs. Please, Gaffer, if you're listening to me, just get us a centre-back in. That Adebayo fella would be good as well. So fingers crossed. Anyway, a little bit of admin before we go. Like I said, I've done my own predictions for the match day 1, pre-recorded. Going to be doing them pre-recorded for the next couple of weeks. But in September, we'll be doing them live right here on the channel. So make sure you join me on the YouTube. Time and dates yet to be confirmed. Not too sure about that. Also doing Premier League live and the Champions League live. Fingers crossed. And also on Saturdays, again in September, we'll be doing live watch-alongs for Blackburn Rovers. We'll take a look at the game. Obviously, I'll be watching it on iFollow over here in the USA with stats behind me, graphics and all that kind of good stuff, kind of keep you up to date with what's going on. Also what's going on in the Championship. I'll give you updates on goals all around the place. So if you're bored on a Saturday, you can't make the game, stuck in at work, because people work on weekends as well, and you can watch me on the fly, hey, get involved. Links to my Twitch, all that kind of good stuff in the old description below. Is that all I've got for you? Is that all? Yep, black screen of death, folks. So that is it. Match day 1 just around the corner. Give me your thoughts and opinions in your comment section down below. Now, before I go, just let you know again, I don't know if I covered this. I probably did, because I do ramble a little bit. But on the screen up here, you should be able to see the faces of 2 very, very dedicated fans. For one for Charlton and one for Blackburn Rovers. And they'll both give me their thoughts and opinions this week, in a very, very busy week as we launch the new season. I'll get Charlton's opinion. Lewis, he'll be here tomorrow, which which will be Wednesday, and we'll get his verdict on the game. And then Ian will be there, Ian Herbert, for Blackburn Rovers, and talk about the game on Thursday. What his thoughts and opinions about the opening game and the season as a whole. So you can catch them puppies right here on the channel. And also Friday, she'll be back. She wasn't here right now, but Cass the Cat will have her own prediction for the opening game, so you can catch that right here on the channel. What she thinks. Give me your thoughts and opinions about the opening game. What do you expect for the season and all that kind of good stuff in your comment section down below. Until I see you all again very soon. Thumbs up, subscribe. Let's go Rovers! Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.